Very good afternoon to one and all. I welcome you all once again for the next experimentation on, uh, uh, on heat transfer by natural convection. Okay, so please let me know whether my voice is audible and can you see my presentation? Great. So in today's practical session, we try to understand how to determine the heat transfer coefficient for natural convection. Okay, so our aim to determine the heat transfer coefficient for vertical hollow cylinder in case of a natural convection. Okay, so here what we are going to consider, we are going to consider one hollow cylinder. Okay, and the heat transfer from that particular hollow cylinder to the air, that will be considered as a natural convection heat transfer if there is no any external agency present over there to blow the air over the surface of vertical hollow cylinder. Uh, a heat transfer or the convection heat transfer will be called as a natural convection. It will be called as a natural convection. We know that in convection chapter, we have discussed that the difference between natural convection and forced convection. The natural convection in which the no external agency present to blow the air over the heated surface or over the cooled surface, and the flow of the fluid is happen because of a temperature difference between the hot fluid and cold fluid, and that of because of a density difference. Okay, temperature difference, because of a temperature difference there is a density difference in the fluid, and because of the density difference, uh, there will be a fluid motion in natural convection. Whereas in forced convection, what is happening? In forced convection, we are blowing the air or forcing the air to blow over or to transfer over the heated surface. So, in that particular case, there will be external agent present, or we can say that external blower, one external agent, or the fan, blower, pump we are using to blow the air over the surface. Okay, that will be about the difference between natural convection and forced convection. So in this particular experiment, we are going to consider one vertical hollow cylinder. You can see here the diagram of this particular experiment. Now, the external duct is there. Okay, this is the duct, the external border you can see here. This is nothing but a duct. Okay, or we can say that the compartment. Okay, compartment in which our actual experimentation apparatus is placed. Okay, and that compartment is called as a duct. Okay, this rectangular duct is called, it is called as a rectangular duct. Okay, now in this rectangular duct, the hollow cylinder is placed vertically. Okay, the hollow cylinder is placed vertically. Okay, cylinder means what? Hollow cylinder means what? The pipe like structure. Okay, and it is made up of brass. This particular pipe is made up of brass. Okay, and in that particular pipe like structure or the hollow cylinder, the heater is placed. Okay, metallic, the heater is enabled inside this particular hollow cylinder, which will be heat up the hollow cylinder. Okay, or hollow vertical cylinder. Okay, so heat source will be considered as a heater for this particular hollow cylinder, and which will generate the heat inside that particular tube. Okay, and that heat will be transferred to the surface of hollow cylinder. Okay, that heat will be transferred to the surface of hollow cylinder. Now, over this surface, we have placed seven thermocouple. Over the surface of hollow cylinder, we have placed seven thermocouples. So you can see here T1 or TC1, TC2, TC3, T or T1, T2, T3, T4, T5, T6, T7. So this seven thermocouple will uh, uh, measure the temperature of hollow cylinder surface. Okay, hollow cylinder surface, and one thermocouple you can see over here, TC8 thermocouple, is not connected to the surface anywhere. It is freely suspended in the air. Okay, it is freely suspended in air. The thermocouple is freely suspended in the air, and which will measure the temperature of ambient air. Okay, which will measure the temperature of ambient air. So why we require these 7 thermocouples and the 8th thermocouple? We know that to determine whether my screen is visible. Please let me know whether my screen is visible. Okay. कसं काय बंद पडले? 1 minute, 1 minute. Okay, okay, okay. नेटवर्क गेलं परत. Wait for 1 minute. I will connect another device. I think internet problem. Okay. Okay, I think now it is visible to everyone. Okay, so here I'm speaking about the construction details of this particular experiment. Okay, so the experiment consists of a duct. Okay, rectangular duct, which having a function to avoid the flow of air inside the duct. Okay, unnatural flow of air inside the duct, so that the environment will be maintained properly inside the duct. Okay, there will be a still environment inside the duct, and this particular duct is open at the top side and at the bottom side for the movement of air. Okay, for the movement of air due to natural convection, what is happening? the fluid near to this particular tubes will get heated. Okay, the fluid which is near, or the air which is present near to this particular vertical hollow cylinder tube or vertical hollow cylinder, that will get heated, and that will move in a upward direction. Okay, that will move in a upward direction. So for the movement of air, we should open up this top side. Okay, and once this hot air or low density fluid moving in upward direction, the place of that particular hot air will be acquired by the cold air, okay, or the cold fluid. Okay, so that cold air will be entered inside this compartment from the bottom side. Okay, from the bottom side. So for that reason, the bottom side is also open up. Okay, and it is closed from three side. Okay, whereas the front side is visible, so that we can see what is the construction, or how the instrument is looks like. Okay, and we have discussed that the 7 thermocouples are placed over the surface of tube, and that will measure the temperature of that particular tube, whereas the 8th thermocouple is placed outside the tube, or it is not placed on the surface of a tube. It is freely suspended in that particular duct, which will measure the surrounding temperature or the ambient temperature. Okay, that will measure the surrounding temperature or ambient temperature. And the heat source is placed inside that particular tube. Heat source means what? That particular heat is placed inside that particular tube, and which will take the electrical energy and convert that electrical energy into a heat energy, and that heat energy or that particular heat will be transferred to the surface of the hollow cylinder, to the surface of the hollow cylinder. And when the cold air will get in a contact with this hot surface, it will get heated, it will move in the upward direction. Okay, and it will move in the upward direction because its density will get decreased, because its temperature will get increased, and due to the increase in temperature, the hot air will have low density, and because of that it will move in the upward direction. Okay, getting everyone? Is there any doubt, any question? So when a body kept in a still atmosphere, heat is transferred to the surrounding fluid by natural convection. The fluid layer in contact with the hot body gets heated, rises up due to the decrease in its density, and the cold fluid rushes in from bottom side. Okay, the process is continuous, and the heat transfer takes place due to the relative motion of hot and cold fluid particles. Now we know that if the heat is transferring from the surface to the fluid, that particular heat transfer will be considered as a convection heat transfer. In that case, we have to use the the Newton's law of cooling related to the convection. Okay, so heat transfer rate per unit area, or we can say that the convective heat transfer rate per unit area is directly proportional to the temperature difference between surface and surrounding. So it is the statement. It is the statement of a Newton's law. And if you put up this particular statement in an equation format, then we can write as Q is equal to H multiplied by A multiplied by delta T, where H is the proportionality constant, is the surface area available for the heat transfer, and delta T is the temperature difference between the surface and surrounding. Okay, so delta T once again elaborated as Ts minus Ta. Okay, where Ts is the surface temperature, average surface temperature, and Ta is the ambient air temperature. Okay, whereas we can formulate this as for the heat transfer coefficient as H is equal to Q divided by A multiplied by delta T. Okay, where this H is equal to average heat transfer coefficient, which is written as watt per meter square Kelvin. Its unit is watt per meter square Kelvin. Then Q is equal to heat transfer rate. It is in a watt. Then Ts is equal to average surface temperature. So we have to take the average surface temperature. That is nothing but addition of all the temperatures, thermocouple temperatures divided by 7, which will provide you the average surface temperature. That is nothing but T suffix S. And the Ta, we know that Ta is the ambient air temperature, which is related to the eighth thermocouple, if you measure the temperature of eighth thermocouple, then that thermocouple will provide you the ambient air temperature. So TS is known, TA is known, then we can calculate the delta T. Surface area is known because the diameter and the length of the tube, these two quantities are the given quantities. So we can calculate the area. Then Q we have to calculate. The Q is nothing but what? The heat generated by the heater, and heat generated by the heater is depend upon the electric supply to that particular heater, and electric supply or the electric power can be calculated as V multiplied by I, and that will be considered as a Q. So Q calculated, then A is known, then delta T we have to calculate, and then you can calculate the heat transfer coefficient for the natural convection. Okay, so this is one method to calculate the heat transfer coefficient, but we know that the heat transfer coefficient is not a property of any substance, and it changes situation to situation. It changes according to the surface dimensions, it changes according to the orientation, it changes according to the fluid condition, fluid types, and because of that, to calculate the heat transfer coefficient by using the Newton's law of cooling, is one can say that it is a wrong method, or we can say that it will not provide the accurate results. So for that reason, we have to go for the non-dimensionless or dimensionless numbers. So in that case, we know that we have derived this equation for the natural convection by using the dimensional analysis. That is, Nusselt number is a function of Grashoff's number and Prandtl number. Okay, so in an equation format, that particular relationship can be written as Nu is equal to capital A inside the bracket Gr multiplied by Pr raised to n. Okay, where this Nu is nothing but Nusselt number, A is the constant, Gr is the Grashoff number, and Pr is the Prandtl number, and n is also rest factor constant. Okay, so we know that Grashoff's number is nothing but G beta delta T multiplied by L cube divided by nu square, and Prandtl number is nothing but mu Cp divided by K. Okay, where the G is nothing but acceleration due to gravity, beta is the coefficient of volumetric expansion, delta T is the temperature difference between the surface and surrounding, then L is the characteristic length, and we have to take this L cube, then nu square is the kinematic viscosity, then mu is the dynamic viscosity, and Cp is the specific heat, and K is the thermal conductivity of a fluid. So these particular parameters we have to determine to calculate the Nusselt number, and we know that Nusselt number is nothing but Nu is equal to HL divided by K. So we can say that once again over here, Nu is equal to H multiplied by L divided by K. Okay, so by using this particular equation, we can calculate the heat transfer coefficient. Okay, now further, this particular A and N values that will be vary according to the product, according to the value of product of Grashoff's number and Prandtl number. Okay, so for a vertical cylinder losing heat by natural convection, A and N of a equation have been determined by following empirical correlations. Okay, Nu is equal to 0.56 multiplied by Grashoff's number multiplied by Prandtl number bracket raised to 0.5. When we have to use this particular equation, if we get the product of Grashoff's number and Prandtl number in between 10 raised to 4 and 10 raised to 8, in that case we can use this particular equation. But if this particular product, Grashoff's number and Prandtl number product, is greater than 10 raised to 8 and less than 10 raised to 12, then in that case we have to use this equation as Nu is equal to 0.13 multiplied by Grashoff's number multiplied by Prandtl number raised to 1 by 3. Okay, so observations, you required some observation, and by using this one of the empirical correlation, you will get the heat transfer coefficient. Okay, now you required observations. So first one is nothing but the outer diameter of that particular tube or vertical hollow cylinder, and it is equal to 38 mm. Then length of cylinder, which is equal to 500 mm. Then we have to take the observation for the voltage and current. Okay, by adjusting the appropriate electric supply to the heater, we have to consider the voltage and current. And then finally, the observation table. Okay, so observation table, in that first seven readings are about the surface temperature of hollow cylinder, and the last temperature T8 is the ambient air temperature. So we have to take these readings, okay, thermocouple readings, up to what limit? Up to the condition that when we get the steady state temperature, that particular reading, final reading, will be considered for the calculation purpose. And further, we have to move ahead for the calculation of H by using the Newton's law of cooling, and by using the dimensionless numbers. Okay, by using the dimensionless number. So in that case, you require these temperatures, and then you have to calculate the surface temperature. After calculation of the surface temperature, you have to calculate the mean film temperature, because the properties of air we have to consider at a mean film temperature. So mean film temperature is nothing but average temperature of surface and ambient air, or the ambient fluid, or the surrounding fluid to that particular body. So that average temperature is nothing but mean film temperature, and reciprocal of mean film temperature in a Kelvin will provide you the bulk, the coefficient of volumetric expansion, that is nothing but beta. Okay, and other properties we have to determine by considering the temperature chart for air, for atmospheric pressure, and that chart is available on internet or on any books. You can refer that particular chart, and you have to consider the properties of air for a particular bulk mean temperature, and then we will move ahead for the calculation purpose. Okay, getting everyone? So now I will stop this particular explanation about the experiment, and we will perform directly the experiment. Okay, is there any doubt, any question about this explanation? Okay, whether you get the idea that how to perform the experiment. Is there any doubt, any question? If not, then I will go for the performance. Okay, I will stop presentation from here, and we'll go for the performance. Okay, within 1 minute I will reach to the performance. Meanwhile, uh, uh, you can draw the table. Okay, and we will take the readings. So, सरळ दिसेल ते रेकॉर्डिंग.
Okay, anyone reply? Screen is visible? Anyone?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
हे दिसतंय थोडं ब्लॅक व्हायला. Okay, so this is our natural convection apparatus. Now here you can see here, this is the duct part. Okay, this is the duct part. Okay, and this particular duct is open from the top side also, and it is open from the bottom side also. Okay, and in that particular duct, the heat pipe is placed. In that particular duct, not heat pipe, I'm fumbled over here. The vertical hollow cylinder is placed. Okay, this is particular vertical hollow cylinder. You can see here the vertical hollow cylinder is placed, and in that vertical hollow cylinder, our source is placed. A heating source is placed. Okay, so you can see here one wire is inserted, which is going inside the tube, and to that particular wire, the heater is connected. Okay, and over the surface of the vertical hollow cylinder, okay, over the surface of that particular vertical hollow cylinders, the thermocouples are attached. Okay, so 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, these 7 thermocouples are attached over the surface of that particular vertical cylinder, and you can see here one thermocouple is not connected anywhere on the surface. It is freely suspended in the duct, which will measure the ambient air temperature. Okay, which will measure the ambient air temperature, because we require the surface temperature as well as the surrounding fluid temperature for the calculation purpose. So this particular 8th thermocouple will measure the temperature of ambient air. Okay, and 7 thermocouples will measure the temperature of surface. Okay, now we know that in previous practicals also, previous two practicals also, we have discussed about the heat input for the heater. Okay, in that case, we know that Q is calculated as V multiplied by I, where V is nothing but voltage and I is nothing but a current, and that will provide you a Q, that is nothing but heat transfer rate of the heater, which will be considered as the same heat transfer rate, or which will be considered as a heat transfer rate from surface of vertical hollow cylinder to the ambient air. Okay, now once the flow of the fluid will started in that particular duct, then after some time you will feel that the hot fumes are coming out from vertical direction, and the cold fluid will be entered inside that particular duct from the bottom side. Okay, and because of that reason only, we have kept open from the top side and from the bottom side, whereas we have closed this particular chamber from other 4 sides, because we want this internal environment as a steel environment. Okay, there will not be any fluid movement or the air movement because of any external agency. Okay, so to maintain that steel environment, this compartment is made, and first the front side is visible to you, that to see the actual apparatus, this front side is visible to you, and it is open up from the top side, because whatever the hot fumes are there or the heated air is there, it will be moving in the upward direction, and to occupy this place of that particular hot air, the cold fluid will move in the upward direction. Okay, and once again that will get heated and it will move in the upward direction. So that will be the natural convection phenomena. Now here, first of all, we have to take the readings for voltage and current. Okay, that will provide you Q. So now here voltage reading is 73. You can note down that. Anyone? Sachin is there? What is our temperature? 169. Sachin is there?
Yes, sir.
Sachin, take the readings. Voltage is 73. You can see that, na? Yes. Take the reading. Voltage 73. and current 1.752. 1.752. Okay. Then here the 12 pointer temperature indicator is used, but we have to take only 8 reading. Okay. Now here to check that whether is the point, where is the pointer. So this pointer for that purpose here mark is given, and that will show the direction of a pointer. Okay. Now we are on at first thermocouple. Okay. We are checking the temperature of a first thermocouple, and you can see that it is nearly about equal to 160 degrees Celsius. Okay. 160 degrees Celsius or 159. 160. Okay. Take 160. Then T2 is having 163 degrees Celsius temperature. T2 is having 163 degrees Celsius temperature. Sachin, have you taken the reading?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, T2 163, T3 170,
170,
okay, T4 163,
163,
okay, T5 159,
159,
yes, T6 146,
146,
T7 32, T8 ahe. No, T8. Okay, this is T8. Okay, last T8. Okay, T8 is 34. Take T8 32. T8 32. Okay, reverse manner you take now. T8 32.
okay,
Okay, then T7 146.
146,
Okay, T6 159. Okay.
159,
Okay, so in this manner you have to take the readings. Okay, now you can finalize these readings only because we have taken we have switch on this particular experiment from last 1 hour. So it I think it will achieve the steady state after some time, but there is a fluctuation in voltage, so that it will be fluctuate. Now you can see here we have taken the T1 as 159, right? So here T1 we are getting 157, so it is decreasing because of the variation of a voltage. But these temperatures will not vary if the input supply is constant one. Okay, the temperature should not vary if the input supply is constant one. But you can continuously check that the voltage or current is varying continuously, and because of that there is a variation, slight variation out of this particular temperatures whatever we are checking. Okay, T1 157. Take the reading once again. T1 157. Okay. T2 160.
160,
T3 164.
164,
T4 170. मगाची ते T1 ची आपण T2 पासून चालू त्यामुळे चुकलं. T4 170. T5 164.
164,
T6 160.
160,
T7 146. And T8 32.
okay,
Yeah. T8 is ambient temperature. Okay, that whatever the suspended thermocouple is there, that will measure the ambient air temperature. Okay, so here you can see that this suspended thermocouple, which is outside, which is not on the surface, so which will measure. This is the suspended thermocouple, which will measure the ambient air temperature. Okay, is there any doubt, any question in this particular experimentation? अजून एक reading लिहून तीन reading घेऊया अजून एक. Sachin, take once again from the first
Okay, sir.
third reading.
Steady
Yes.
state.
Steady state. मागाची रुटीन चुकली आपली कारण की आपण T2 पासून चालू केलं.
Starting ची रुटीन चुकली आपली.
हा पहिली रिडिंग चुकली ना.
हा.
हा
सचिन आता हे स्टेडी स्टेट आहे, हे जे रिडिंग येतात ह्यालाच कॅल्क्युलेशन करा तुम्ही.
हा T1 टेक T1 157
157
T2 160
160
T3 164 T4 171
171
T5 164 T6 159
59
T7 146
46 32 last.
and T8 32. Okay. Okay, whether you understood everyone how to perform the natural convection experiment? There is no any rocket science. We are just taking the readings. Okay. If you know how to do the calculation, then you will come to know that how to take that particular readings which are required for the calculation purpose. Okay. So in natural convection, the readings are simpler one, but the calculations are somewhat difficult as compared to the reading. Okay. So shall I stop presentation now? I will go to the PC for further calculation part and the for the reading. Okay. So Sachin, can you tell me the readings?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Voltage, how much voltage?
73
73. Okay, 73 volt. Current?
1.752
1.75. Okay, ampere. Okay, then for further readings, first reading
First 159
159.
T2 163,
163,
T3 170,
170,
T4 163,
163,
T5 159,
159,
T6 159,
159,
T7 146,
146,
T8 32.
32. Okay. Next, second reading,
One second. T1 157,
157,
T2 160,
160,
T3 164,
164,
T4 170,
T4, 1,
170,
170. Okay.
T5 164,
164,
T6 160,
160,
T7 146,
146, and
T8
T8, 32.
32.
Okay. The next third reading,
Third reading 157.
157, 160.
As like above, sir.
Okay. 164, 170, 164, 160, 146, and 32. Okay. So we can say that if the previous reading and current reading is matching, then we can say that we have achieved the steady state because the temperature is not changing with respect to time. So we can say that we have achieved the steady state. Now next, the part is calculation part. Okay. First of all, we have to calculate Q. Okay. Calculation. Okay. So calculation part. So first of all, calculate Q. Q is equal to V multiplied by I. Okay, and which is equal to V value is 73, 1.75. 73 multiplied by 1.75. Okay, and which is equal to the calculation, and it will be in a watt. You can do calculation.
127.75.
How much?
127.75.
127.75. Okay. Then next we have to calculate the average temperature for the surface. Okay. So that will be equal to, I will take directly the formula from here. Ts is equal to T1 plus T2 plus T3 plus T4 plus T6 plus T7 divided by 7. Okay. And which is equal to final reading should be selected for the calculation purpose. Huh? Remember that thing. Okay, final reading we have to select for the calculation purpose. Okay, so 157, then 157 plus 160 plus 164 plus 170 plus 164 plus 160 plus 146 plus 32 and divided by 7. Okay, and do calculation and find out the average temperature for the surface. Ts is equal to, and we know that Ta value, Ta is equal to one only 32. Okay, so Ta is the ambient air temperature, and which is equal to 32. So these values are known. Q is known. Okay, area. How to calculate the area for the uh, surface area for the cylinder? What is the surface area for the cylinder? 2 multiplied by pi multiplied by r l, or I will, we have the diameter, so pi d l. Okay, pi d l, where d is the diameter of the tube, l is the length of the tube. So which is equal to pi multiplied by d is 38, into 10 to the power minus 3 multiply by 500 into 10 to the power minus 3. Okay, I've taken the values in meter by multiplying with the minus 4 and calculate A, and then you can calculate H by using the Newton's law of cooling. H formula I will take directly. H is equal to therefore Q how much? 127. 127.75 divided by area. Calculate how much area you are getting. A value
0.059.
2.70.
Yeah, sir, 0.059.
0.059
59.
area. Okay. Multiply by TS. How much TS? TS value? Others also can reply. Okay. I'm not asking only for the Sachin. Okay.
Sir, I
So
think TS formula is maybe wrong. Divide by 8.
TS how much?
TS is equal to T1 plus T2 plus T3 plus T4 up to 8. Divide by 8.
No. Okay, I made a mistake. Remove this 32 and only divide by 7. Surface temperature. We have to consider the surface temperature only.
Okay, then TS is equal to 160.14.
163.14.
160 only.
160.14.
0.14.
Okay, minus 32. Minus 32. Okay. Now calculate the H according to the Newton's law of cooling. H value. Others also check your values. Do calculation. H 16.89. Great. Whether everyone getting 16.89? And its unit is watt per meter square Kelvin or degree Celsius. Any unit you can use. Okay, 16.89. Now we have to find out the H value by using the dimensional analysis. And for that purpose, we require the formulas. This one is nothing but we'll say we required first of all the mean film temperature. Okay, first of all mean film temperature. So I'll say it as a T suffix FM film MF. Okay, mean film temperature, which is equal to average of surface temperature and surrounding temperature divided by 2. Okay, surface temperature is 160.14 and surrounding temperature is 32 divided by 2. Now take the average temperature. How much it is? नाही 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 माझं प्रॅक्टिकल चालू 96.07. Okay, 96.07. So we have to determine the properties of air like dynamic viscosity, specific heat. Okay, these properties we have to determine. Then thermal conductivity of air and kinematic viscosity. These properties we have to check at this particular temperature. Okay, at this particular temperature, and for that reason, okay, we require the property table. Properties of air. Okay, and I have seen properties table. Property table. Fresh. Library. Here is the. Okay, so this is the chart. Okay, property table chart. Okay, and this property table chart is for I will. Okay, you can see here. I will increase, zoom it once again. Okay, this property table chart is for air at 1 atmospheric pressure. Okay, now here on this side the temperatures are given. Temperatures are given. These temperatures are in degree Celsius. Now we have to check which where that particular our temperature is near about. Okay, now our mean field temperature is 96 degrees Celsius. Okay, which is near to the 100 degrees Celsius. So we can take the properties for the 100 degrees Celsius also. Okay, because there is no such a big variation by 4 degrees Celsius over here, or else you can do that particular what you are doing in ATD to determine the properties. Okay, so by taking the average properties also you can check. If you take the average out of 90 and 100, you will get the properties for 95 degrees Celsius. Okay, and that will be near to the 96 degrees Celsius. Or else you take this because there is no much difference, 0.9718 and 0.9458, and you will get in between that particular two as 0.96. Okay, 0.96 for density of the air. Okay, and similarly there is no such a difference. Here you can see that 1016 how where is 100 degrees 1009 for the 100 and 1008 for the 90. So for 95 you will get 1008.5, and for 96 near about 10057. Okay, 008.7, so that we can take directly the properties of air at 100 degrees Celsius. Okay, that will be the better properties of air at 100 degrees Celsius. Okay, which will be nearer to the 96 degrees Celsius. So which properties we require? First of all, we require the thermal conductivity. So thermal conductivity, I will say K, thermal conductivity of air at 100 degrees Celsius. So which column is there for the thermal conductivity? Or else we can go with the column wise. First is the density. So density 0.9458. Okay, 0.9458. 9458. Okay. Then next, second column, specific heat, CP. Specific heat 1009. Then second one, CP is equal to 1,000,009. Okay, and its unit is kg per meter cube. And CP value in a joule per kg Kelvin. CP is known to you. Now next, Third column, thermal conductivity. Now K. Okay, 100 for 100 K is 0.03095. K is 0.03095. Okay, you can also download that particular chart. Okay, there is no any special requirement. You just search on the internet properties of air, you will get that particular chart. Watt per meter Kelvin. Okay, meter Kelvin. K value is known to you now. Third, thermal conductivity is over. Then thermal diffusivity is not required. नाही चालू आहे. तुम्हीच बघा तुमच्या ऍडजस्ट. माझे ऍडजस्टमेंट घेत आहे. Then kinematic viscosity. Okay, second law. No, dynamic viscosity is also there. Mu. Okay, for 100 degrees Celsius. Third column, dynamic viscosity. (100°C). 1, 2, 3. 3.243 multiplied by 10 raised to minus 5. 3.243 into 10 raised to minus 5. Dynamic viscosity and mu. Mu is equal to 3.243 into 10 to the power minus 5. Okay, and then next, it is thermal diffusivity. And the dynamic viscosity is 2.181. 2.181. Right now? 2.181. 181 into 10 raised to minus 5. Now it is right now. 2.181. Dynamic viscosity. 2.181. Next is kinematic viscosity, I think so. 2.306 into 10 raised to minus 5. 2.306. Two point 306 into 10 to the power mu value is known. Then what is required then? Kinematic viscosity also mu Cp divided by K, G beta delta T, L cube divided by nu square. Okay, so then you can calculate, and also you will get the Prandtl number also at the end. So last value is Prandtl number. So for 100 degrees Celsius, okay, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Prandtl number is 0.7111. Okay, so Prandtl number is 0. Br is equal to 0.7111. Okay, by using the formula also you'll get the same Prandtl number. Now next, what you calculate? You have to calculate Prandtl number is known from this particular formula. From this formula you have Prandtl number directly, but you have to calculate the Grashoff's number. So Grashoff's number formula is G beta delta t multiplied by L cube divided by nu square, where this G is nothing but acceleration due to gravity, that is known. Beta we have to calculate. So beta is nothing but reciprocal of mean film temperature, and that's reciprocal should be in a absolute temperature. Okay, so whatever the mean film temperature you are getting, you have to add up 273 in that, and then you have to take the reciprocal. Then delta t is known. Then L cube. L cube is the characteristic length for the vertical cylinder. Its length or its height will be considered as a characteristic length. So length of the tube is provided to you, that is nothing but 500 mm. That will be taken as a 500 into 10 raised to minus 3 meter, and that will be considered as and cube of that. Then mu square, mu is the kinematic viscosity and square of that. So Grashoff's number we will calculate first of all. Insert equation. Grashoff's number is equal to I will take formula directly. Put up all the values that we have considered. G beta delta t, which is equal to, now for that reason we required beta value. So how to calculate beta? So beta is equal to beta is equal to 1 divided by T suffix mf, T suffix mf plus 273. Okay, 273, and which will be equal to 1 divided by, okay, T suffix mf how much? 96.07, 96.07 plus 273. Okay, do calculation and find out first of all beta, and its unit will be the Kelvin raised to minus 1. Okay, Kelvin raised to minus 1. Okay, determine beta value first of all. Then delta T is nothing but the surface temperature minus the surrounding temperature. L is known and mu is known. So once you get these values, beta value just, so you can calculate the Grashoff's number. GR is equal to 9.81. Okay, multiply by beta value. How much you are getting beta? Please let me know. Beta 1 divided by 96.07 plus 273. Please tell me the beta value. Beta. Okay, delta T I will write over here. Delta T. Meanwhile, you calculate beta. Delta T will be 160.14 minus 32. 160.14 minus 32. Multiply by L cube. G beta delta T L cube. L is 500 into 10 to the power minus 3 multiply by raised to cube. Okay, cube, and divided by only beta value is remaining in the numerator. So beta is 0.0027, right? 0.0027. Okay, 0 multiply by this is the L cube, right? And new that is the kinematic viscosity. Kinematic viscosity is 2.306 multiplied by 10 to the power minus 5. Okay, and we have to take its square. Okay, we have to take its square. So square. Okay. Okay, you can do calculation for Grashoff's number and tell me the Grashoff's number value. Tell me the Grashoff's number value. Once you get the Grashoff's number value, then you have to take the product of Grashoff's number and Prandtl number. Okay. So GR multiplied by PR. GR multiplied by PR. And then we have to compare for this particular condition. GR multiplied by PR. Okay, 797.82. One of Yasar has put up the Grashoff's number value, right? Yasar, this is the Grashoff's number value, no? 797.
Yes, sir.
Okay, 82 multiply by 10 to the power 6. Okay, 10 to the power 6. Okay, if you are getting the same value, then no problem. If you are having the different value, then you can put up your value in the chat box, no issue. 797 into 0.82 into 10 to the power 6. Now here Grashoff's number, I will take directly this Grashoff's number value. Okay, and Prandtl number is multiply of how much? 0.711. Okay, 111. Okay, do calculation and determine the product. Grashoff's number multiplied by Prandtl number.
567.25 into 10 raised to power 6.
567.25
25 into 10 to the power 6.
into 10 to the power 6. Okay, right? 10 to the power 6. Now 5.67 into 10 raised to 8. Okay, if you check this value, if you convert this into 10 to the power 8, okay, so this can be changed as 5 point, right? 5.67 into 10 to the power 8. Okay, this value is greater than 10 to the power 8. Now check that our condition for the constants. Okay, now if this value is in between 10 to the power 4 and 10 to the power 8, then we have to use the first correlation. And if this power if this particular value, Grashoff's number multiplied by Prandtl number, this value is greater than 10 to the power 8, then we have to use the second condition. So we have to use, now our value is in between 10 to the power 8 and 10 to the power 12. So we can use this second condition. Okay, so second condition. So Nusselt number is equal to 0.13 multiplied by Grashoff's number multiplied by Prandtl number raised to 1 by 3. So here our Nusselt number, Grashoff's number product we have already calculated. Just put up that product, Grashoff's number multiplied by Prandtl number, and it should be raised to 1 by 3. Okay, that is nothing but 0.33. So take this 5.6725 multiplied by 10 to the power 8 bracket raised to 1 by 3, that is nothing but bracket raised to 0.333. Okay. Then calculate Nusselt number. And Nusselt number, when you get the Nusselt number, then we know that Nusselt number is nothing but HL divided by K. H multiplied by L divided by K. That is nothing but Nusselt number. Okay, and which is equal to whatever your value you are getting. And thermal conductivity is also we have taken from the property table. Just put up that thermal conductivity L value, that is 500 into 10 raised to minus 3, and you can calculate the H value. Okay, please let me know Nusselt number value first of all. 100.62. Okay, everyone getting this value 100.62. Okay, then calculate L value H now. If you are getting Nusselt number is equal to, okay, H is equal to, I will write next equation as H is equal to 100.62 multiply by K. How much K you are getting? So check the property table. K value is 0.03095. Okay, 0.03095, right? K value, and divided by L. L is 500 multiplied by 10 to the power minus 3. Okay, and calculate the H value and let me know the H value. That will be your actual H. 6.22. Great. 6.22. And it will be in a watt per meter square Kelvin. Okay. Okay. Great. So in this manner, we have to solve this particular problems, and also the final H value. How to calculate? Everybody ready? How to calculate the H value? And please check that with whether everyone getting the same value. Okay, 100.62, right? And 6.22. Everybody getting the same value? Then you can write finally the result. Result. The heat transfer coefficient is 6.22 watt per meter square Kelvin. Getting everyone? Is there any doubt, any question?
Sir,
Yes.
हे न्यूज
सचिन,
जरा हे न्यूज जरा चुकलं ना.
कोणता काय चुकलं?
हे न्यू
कायनेमॅटिक विस्कोसिटी.
हे न्यू सर हे न्यू लास्ट
एनयू व्हॅल्यू का? हा, एनयू किती येत आहे तुमच्या?
107.61 येते मला.
107.
7
107.61. चेक करा बरं परत एकदा.
61.
107.61. बरं, असं केल्यानंतर एच व्हॅल्यू किती?
6.66.
ओके, 61. 6.
66.
Okay, 6.66. Others also, please let me know that your calculation. Okay, great. Deepak Jyoti also put up his answer, her answer in this chat box. So this is confirmed now. That 6.66. Okay, great. Shraddha is also posted her answer. Okay, then no issue. 6.66 watt per meter square Kelvin. Okay. Okay. Is there any doubt still? You can ask. We have done the performance also and the calculation part also. And I will share this particular, only that much write up for you. Okay, diagram, somewhat explanation and the calculation part. Okay, you have to write that thing and you have to share, create, sir, send experiment number 2 and this third. I have already, sir, shared it. Yasir. First, second, third. I think, oh, Shishikant sir, experiment number 2 share क्या था थोड़ा ग्रुप पर टाकेंगे. Okay, Yasir, if you are in B division, I asked to uh, Shashikant sir to share that particular experiment number 2 with you in WhatsApp group. But for A division, I have already shared both the experiments and the write-up part of that particular experiments. And today also I will share this write-up part, no issue. You have to write this whatever in this particular uh, Word file is there. I will convert that into PDF file and then I will share with you. Okay. You have to draw the diagram. You have to write somewhat theory part. Okay. Which is required for the calculation purpose. And then observations, observation table and calculation part. Okay. Okay. That's it. That's it. Nothing else. Okay. So if you have any doubt, any question, you can ask, or else we will stop here only and you can just put up your roll numbers in the chat box and you can leave. Remaining student, please put up your roll numbers in the chat box and you can leave. I'm going to end this meeting. So if you are not put up yet not put up the roll numbers in the chat box, then immediately do that and leave this meeting. 35, 80, 15, 54, 62, 58. Bro,